damn, that hurt!
Okay, 20 in the building.
DJ Payne 1. Askin About My Passion.
What's going on, man? It's your boy Twan D, the student. I'm here with my man Doug, one half of Liftoff Management and one half of CSR Promotions. And we're here today with the first entry vlogger asking about my passion. What we're doing is getting together with the movers and shakers of the city and movers and shakers period, and getting more in depth with them as far as how their passion is and what drives them. So today I got my man here, longtime friend of mine, that's going to just go and let us know a little bit about him and what keeps him moving. Doug, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
All right. Ain't no problem. I definitely appreciate you being able to do this for me, man. But the first thing I want to ask you, and probably everybody want to know, is what does CSR mean? If for those that don't know, CSR Promotions is the biggest promotional company here in Central Florida. So what does CSR mean?
Like the letters CSR, what do they stand for?
Yes. Is it an acronym or?
It actually is an old acronym. Basically, started by my business partner now, Shoaib.
Okay.
He's the S in CSR. The C is Chris, and the R is Reggie. And it was actually started without me, way before me, when Shoaib, Chris, and Reggie were in college at UCF.
Okay.
And basically, they went overseas to do, like whatever it was they were doing, that they learned from college. And Shoaib was doing the promotion company part-time, and they had agreed, like, when they were done overseas and come back, they would, full force it. But I guess, like, they liked what they were doing overseas. Shoaib, started to build it on his own out here, and he was doing his thing. When I came in, 2005, Shoaib was already established. Everybody knew him out here. The name CSR wasn't as established. He was kind of going off his face card, and everybody just knowing his name and face. He wasn't really branding the company that much, but like he did have business cards with it on there. But like he was branding his face more than the company. And then I kind of came in and I liked what he was doing. I had been working for him and helping him out, kind of like for fun / like a little extra pocket change. And I started to enjoy it, and I was like, started seeing a vision. I was like, yo, why don't you try this? Why don't you do this? And then we kind of came together, and I, ended up being partners. Long story short, we ended up agreeing to be 50-50 partners. And, with that, I said, hey, I'm not trying to change I'm coming to where you're at. Right. You keep your company's name. I'm cool with that. It's not the name, it's what you do with it.
Absolutely.
So as far as like, see, sometimes you got to put your pride and ego aside, and I don't need to take one of the other guys out and put me in,
Absolutely.
If I know what I'm getting out of it. You know what I mean?
So basically, what developed your passion was just the visions that you had, because I know you said that you start seeing different things that you could do with the company and giving them different ideas. So is that kind of what developed the passion? Did it transition from, like you said, getting extra funds for more so like, whoa, I can not only do I have a passion for this, but we can probably actually be one of the best, if not the best.
I mean, at that time, I was doing a clothing line full time. It was a t-shirt line.
Okay. And
we had met through that, and like I'd seen him grind, he'd seen me grind, and I would have trade shows in Atlanta, and I would need extra help, so I would bring him to basically work for me and help me with like the people skills and certain things that he was good at, and then like obviously promotion, and then like as I'm bringing him, we started developing a good business relationship, and then in turn like he would need extra hands some nights. I'll go out there, he'd hire me, and I'd see like some things, and I'll be like, I think I could do that better than this person, or yo, let's try this, move this around. And I was like, damn, it looks like it's kind of working in a way, in enhancing what he's doing. And then I was like, there was a couple other promotion companies out there at the time that I feel like were getting undeserved recognition. They weren't putting in the work. We were the first ones out there. We were going the hardest, and like that kind of drove my passion to lay like, you know what, like these people got a name, but they're not really backing their name with the hard work. Absolutely. And as hard as Shoaib was working, I was like, man, let's take this to another level. And then he saw my passion, and it kind of developed on like, the whole underdog thing. Yeah. A lot of people look at street team as like the bottom of the barrel. They're like, man, they put up my flyers, pass out my flyers, put up my posters. Man, they just a bunch of dogs or whatever. But like how the way we did it, we were always into fashion and trying to keep ourselves looking fresh. So we kind of took the element out of it of being like a dirty bum doing it. Anybody could do
Yeah.
it, and we kind of try to add some style to it as well as the hard work. We even put like a little like day in the life DVD out to show like,
remember that.
hey, this could be kind of glamorous, you know, da da da, and then like basically, you know, if you work hard and you do things with a passion, people are gonna naturally attract to you, and if you do good business, and the other people aren't, you're gonna pick up with the customers they lose, and you just stay in it long enough and you do good business, your name's gonna keep resonating. So
absolutely, and I do think that was one of the main reasons, as you said, doing good business, following through on what you were doing. And I think that's one of the main reasons why you guys ended up getting the name that you got, and getting an established name and have such an established name. And as I said earlier, in my opinion, feeling like if there's anybody you would want to go to in Central Florida, personally, I would always refer people to CSR just because of what you said, which is doing good business, which is, you know, some things that a lot of people out there, you know, need to practice. But that's
another thing I want to add to that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I practice what I preach. You know what I mean? I got CSR flyers, T-shirts, you know, posters, all that. So like, if I'm telling an artist to do it, you know, I'm gonna practice what I preach on my end. But what we did is we took something that a lot of people just did for some extra cash on the side, and we actually made it a business and a company. You know what I mean? And I try to say that to artists as well. Like, don't just look at yourself as a rapper that you do it out of your house or on the side. If you want people to take you seriously, you got to treat yourself like a business, man, and that'll separate you from everybody else. Like, if you want to meet CSR now, you don't meet us at McDonald's or at a hotel lobby. You meet us at our office. You know what I mean? And that's also an advantage. We pay for what we pay for to give you that comfort, and hey, we're not running off with your money. We're here 24/7. You got any problems, come see us. We're available. You know what I mean?
And that was, and it's interesting that you said that, because, you know, for anybody that knew CSR, they was always in the streets. You know, Schwade was in front of he'll catch you right outside of the club, hitting you with a flyer. What made the decision to say, you know, and I guess you had already touched on it, which is making yourself a business. That's what made the decision to say, you know what, yeah, we want to be in the streets, but like you said, we come to the office, have a sit down. You can, like you said, we're not running away with the money,
right,
and making that transition and be more professional. But let me ask you this question: as one that has had a promotional company, and now segueing into management, which we're going to get into, from a promotion standpoint, do you personally have to like an artist's music? I mean, was that something in the beginning when you started where I really don't like his music, I'm not really going to promo it how I should? Or eventually, you know, as you started learning the game and started learning different things, was it more about, you know what, this is a business, let me find that target audience and make sure that he gets what he needs? Or has it always been?
Of course it's going to change over time. Just, you know, of course, if you're staying the same, you're probably declining. You know, if you feel like you're not changing, you're probably declining. So originally, you know, whatever our initial stuff was, I can't remember verbatim, but I know, like, at least for the last 5 years, you know, I say it on camera, I say it privately, whatever, and, you know, again, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I don't try not to sugarcoat, which could come off as like rude or something sometimes. But I'd rather not tell you what you want to hear and then do action. My actions speak differently.
There we go.
So what I tell people is, hey, I don't need to hear your music. I'm a promotions company. You know what I mean? Like, your music, I'm just one person. Or Shoaib's just two, you know, we're two people. Our opinion on your music shouldn't change what you think about it. Like, for example, you know, there's artists out there that music to me is garbage, but they're selling millions of records and they're multi-millionaires. So who am I to say that their music's garbage? And, you know, I'd be potentially turning down a long-term client because of something I felt. What I always tell people is this: if you believe in your music enough to spend money with me or on your product, then I believe in you and your music. Whether I like it or not doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's like McDonald's. Do they have to have the best hamburger to be the most successful hamburger franchise? No.
That's true, because they don't have the best quality.
No, but you know what they give you? They give you consistent service. It's always going to be the same. Whether it's the best, the worst, hey, that's up for your opinion. But you know what it is. When you go to McDonald's, you damn near, I can taste the hamburger in my mouth now. I know what it tastes like. So I know what I'm going to get, and it's pretty much going to be the same every time. You know what I mean? So they're not trying to be a better burger than Five Guys, but they're pushing their product way better than Five Guys is.
Brand.
You know what I mean? Because that's my opinion. I like Five Guys hamburgers better, but I'd rather own a McDonald's. You know what I mean? So I translate that to the music too. Like, hey, this guy may have better music, but he may not be passionate enough about it to push it properly. So I'd rather be with the guy who's passionate and has maybe the music I don't care for as much than the guy who just thinks that his talent's going to override all the hard work and the passion that the other man has.
That makes sense. Let me ask this question. Being a your experience and your years of experience in promoting, how has that helped you with what you're transitioning into now, which is management? For those that don't know, Doug is the or one half? One half of managing the new artist Caskey, who's just been recently signed to Cash Money.
I'm Whoop's. I manage Whoop solely myself, and then I have a partner, Julio, with Caskey. We co-manage Caskey.
Okay. So there we go. We actually got that situated. So Caskey and Whoop, and with managing them, how has your promotional experience helped you in management?
Tremendously. I didn't plan to get into management. It was never really.
I guess I would say, I mean to cut you off, but I guess I would say a little bit. How did you get into management, and how has that segued?
Yeah, like I never planned it. It just kind of, I guess, fell into my lap. You do certain things, like you said, like I said before. If you're willing to change your stuff up, like grow, stuff's gonna grow with you. Like, and this happened. I had an office with at the time Upscale Graphics, who's now Empire Graphics. We shared an office with him when we got our first office a couple years ago, and we figured, hey, he's got the graphic design and the printing, we got the promotion. It goes hand in hand, bounce clients off each other and stuff like that. We were with him for a year, and then opportunity opened with the Avengers, where their studio lease was running up where they were. Our lease was running up, so we stepped to them like, hey, would you want to partner up? You got a studio, we could have, it would be a great balance, use our two brands together. Absolutely. And we came up to this office. This will be the third year we've been in here, and basically while I was in here, I could run this from my house. It's a computer with some space, but to keep it professional and to build that atmosphere not only for clients but for myself.
For yourself, yeah.
I come in here every day and I sit here and I do what I got to do. Phone calls, emails, research, what have you. The studio's right next door, so amongst that, the Avengers were managing an artist at that time, and I'm watching like what they're doing. I'm like, all right, I see some things I like, I see some things I don't, and they had some clients and stuff, and one of them happened to be this artist Caskey, who funny thing, I never heard of him, but I actually helped print his CDs for Homegrown. Like they went through me to print them when they were at the other studio, but I never listened to it. It was just something like, here you go, here's the CDs. I got them because I had the hookup to get the CDs done, but I never checked it out. And of course people say, oh, this guy's dope or whatever, but you hear it, but unless somebody gives you a reason to keep doing it,
absolutely,
that that's a promotion of it. Well, so I heard his name. Actually, they played me a song at their other studio. They kept playing me music. I was like, some of the stuff I like, some of it I didn't, but I never heard this. They're like, oh, what do you think of this guy? So I heard the song called The Truth from Caskey, and I was like, man, who the hell is this? And I actually thought he was black. I just assumed. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, it's this white dude. Oh, white dude. Wait, play it again? And then I heard Keep It on the Low, and I was like, man, this guy's got it. And I was telling them, yo, this is the guy, bro. Like, this is your guy. But I never want to manage. But the guy I was with, my guy Face from Indianapolis, he happened to be with me. He was like, man, I've always envisioned you as a manager. I'm like, man, I'm not a manager, man. I'm like, I don't want to be a manager. It's too much headache. These artists don't listen. Like, it costs a lot of money. Because I deal with the artists from being the promoter. So that, to answer your question, I've seen so many artists, I give them advice, they don't listen. But I'm just a promotion company, so I don't harp on it. I got no attachment. Hey, that's on you. You know what I mean? So after so many years of feeling like I was giving good advice and not getting the artist to really feel that what I was saying was good advice, I don't know. I heard this guy in here one day. I was like, damn, that's that guy Caskey again. I had met him since then. I was like, man, y'all got to do something with this guy. Y'all got to do something. I'm telling the Avengers, and finally I was like, man, I thought about it. I was like, man, I want to do something with this guy, but I don't want to, I want to do it with these guys.
Yeah,
because,
exactly. I don't step on anybody's toes.
So, hey, Julio, what do you think about this? And he was like, hey, let's put it together. So then I was like, you think this guy Kasky be down? I asked about him. Is he a hard worker? Everything we've asked him to do, he's done. Like, cool. So then we set the Kasky, and Kasky had heard about me. I can't find out. I gave him a CD when he was in high school. Like, we went onto his campus, and I gave him a CD. He's called me for promotion. He said that, like, he couldn't afford it or whatever at the time. I don't remember this. But he actually had known us. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And we kind of partnered up, me, Kasky, and Julio. And we started this Kasky thing from next to nothing. I mean, not to take anything away from what Kasky did before, but he's virtually unknown out here. Yeah. And, we did his project, and, I used my promotion experience to fuel the promotion for the whole thing. And, Julio and Kasky entrusted me in that. And I entrusted Julio and the Avengers and the beats and the recording and the mixing of it. And it seemed to be a really good marriage to the point where, Cash Money called us.
3 months later, Cash Money called.